In my family, I'm seeing that there's hope outside of mental illness, and that it's through creativity, and that how I believe within everyone there's a spark of brilliance. And that sort of started the ball rolling.
These wrinkled sheets won't let me sleep. They keep me awake with their mysteries. My daily shower after happy hour keeps me clean. I got down in the crease and didn't say a thing. I fell off the edge of the bed. Who did you expect of me? Out in the middle, I fall through the cracks, I squeak by. I'm in the middle, I fall through the cracks, I squeak by.
Recovery is a self-directed journey, a process of healing and growth and self-discovery that has its ups and downs while striving towards balance and enriched quality of life.
Living at an apple seed, bright eyes narrow, living like a sparrow. Can't deny what they're willing to buy, so they embrace. Call it a wrinkle of culture, just a little crease.
Now, a lot of people don't want to they're not easily forthcoming with the information. So I think some of the skills that I've developed over the years of just working with people, acknowledging where they're at, if it is difficult for things to come out, just to maybe focus in on something else that is comfortable, that a story that you do want to write now. So I think it's overall just really respecting where people are at and understanding that everybody is at a different level of readiness for different things at different times.
You know, you look around the room and you don't see mental illness. Okay? You see people. I really loved our first activity with I Am Not My Diagnosis, where we had to write, without using any technical words, what our diagnosis was. And that, I think, was probably the best icebreaker I've ever done. Yeah.
And it's really important to, right off the top, to create an environment where people feel really safe and trust.
It's like a nice atmosphere, and they'll be like, you know, that's good to hear, or we know you're there, we know what you're going through.
Everyone has a whole bunch of stories, right? And some of you know what that story is already, and others don't, and today will be a deciding factor.
These two journals, and they're based on when my father passed away in '87, and I've always wanted to write this as a story because it was a meaningful point for me in the art.
Well, the story I read out last time, I abandoned that because it was too painful to remember.
It's not a secret. If you're in my workshop, some bad, yucky stuff happened, and you're here because you're now on the recovery path.
It was a lot more challenging than I guess I thought it was going to be. Like, you really have to pick apart everything. But it was good. It's good.
When you get triggered, when you're writing about recovery and you have to go back to those dark, hurtful places, the fact that you're writing about it, you come out of it, you put the creative twist on it, that's a technique of healing that moves you forward.
It is healing in its own way.
So we build it into an arc, which is basically with a beginning, middle, and end, and we have the arc of the story.
Ellie's book has the arc, and the arc of the story and the arc of recovery, which is sort of like a pattern that helps you write a story.
In addition to depression and post-traumatic stress disorder, I have a severe case of OCD.
MDD and agoraphobia.
When I was 23, I was diagnosed with bipolar schizophrenia, right?
Eating disorder was written all over my face.
I like to define mental illness as the day-to-day issues that prevent you from getting on with your life.
I've had major depressive episode. I think the latest one is depression or psychosis because of the hallucinations.
My dad wouldn't have a looming fear about finding me in the morning dead because my heart didn't have enough energy to pump. He kept thinking that I didn't have enough fat on me or nutrients. He was so blind. I could clearly see and feel every ounce of fat on me.
I wasn't telepathic, I was hearing voices.
I didn't realize I was so depressed. I thought I was just having a rough patch. When I met with the psychiatrist for the first time, I was very afraid of the consequences of my recent actions. Are you still suicidal? She asked. I wasn't at that moment because I was still confused by the whole situation. I could only recognize one emotion, anxiety.
I thought the dryer was telling me to hurry up and die.
I decorated my place to look like a sultan's den with my ties all strung around.
I was in my room for 5 years listening to voices.
Well, ever since I was young, I've been a storyteller. I was a liar at one time.
As much as I wanted to, I couldn't prevent the seemingly endless roller coaster ride of insanity, poverty, and incarceration that was my life.
I showed the nurse my list of worries, and she wanted me to rename a lot of them as rituals and obsessions. I'm not ritualistic. I just like things done in the same way that I'd always do them.
During my period of confusion, my husband, my roommate, and staff expressed that they felt like they were in a remake of the movie Groundhog Day. As I asked the same questions every day, where was I? What was I doing here? And when can I go home?
I was doing crack and I was smoking weed and shooting up morphine with local hookers, and some of my friends were coming over with morphine and crystal meth, and I was doing that. So I wasn't on my road to recovery, that's for sure. I was going nowhere fast. I needed the medication to survive, so I went to the hospital. I knew I needed something anyways.
But I knew I was going to be 6 feet under in a matter of months if I didn't go.
I wanted the voices to go away. I didn't want to be a voice hearer anymore.
I think that this was the first point in my life where my parents and I truly felt that something had to be done for there to be any future for me.
Eventually, I figured out what taking responsibility and creating balance in my life entailed. I developed a healthy regard for the responsible use of medication, as well as a concrete, holistic recovery plan.
One day when I had 6 different hats piled high on my head, I opened my door to the shocked faces of my mom and dad. Hats and all, they drove me to the hospital.
I had, following this initial visit, a second consultation with another psychiatrist. They both agreed that I was exhibiting signs of a depression that was severe enough for me to be hospitalized, and as soon as possible.
I was on an obsessive mission to cure myself. I went to the library and watched a video on the treatment of OCD. I took out 3 books and put 2 more books on hold and ordered a workbook online. That's obsessive. Determined and ambitious, I decided to stop all compulsions. Now.
Finally, I decided that I needed to get help as soon as I could, so I went into one of the department offices. I tried to explain what was happening to me to a middle-aged woman working in the office. Fortunately, she knew it was serious when she saw that my eyes were dilated and called for emergency help.
Everybody has a time when they just have had enough and they realize, like, I gotta get help, you know?
I went out for a walk, and it just felt so good to be alive. And
through my creativity, I found that my spirit still exists.
I could hear myself think again. My head was filled with thoughts, not voices.
I'm pleased to report that things have been much better since then. My life has been saved from tragically ending.
It's been almost 20 years now since that first aha moment, the first step in a long journey towards recovery.
And Dr. Pierce, the psychiatrist there, said, yeah, we can get you on risperidone. We'll try that for a couple weeks, see if that works. And when I was on that, I was perfect. Like, my mind was clear, I could think better.
Plus has encouraged me to explore painting and begin scrapbooking. All the things I have resources for, but have not touched because I felt I was not a creative person.
And I started to draw. Voila, I was alive again. I went from being despondent to spending my time drawing the other patients. I particularly enjoyed drawing this one woman who thought she was Cleopatra, who posed for me in the nude.
Through many prayers from family and friends, ongoing therapy, and repeatedly choosing to trust that food wasn't the enemy and that God was walking alongside of me, I got better.
Another problem I came up against was smoking too much pot when I was which was consuming most of my days.
May of this year, I had to be hospitalized.
Really what I do is I beat myself up every day.
I realized there is no perfect recovery.
Recovery is a self-directed journey. It takes time. It's 3 steps forward and 2 back.
I was not invincible and had to revisit with my bony body a few years later.
The stress of my father's illness and death, plus the side effects of the medications, were overwhelming.
The judge sent me to the Whitby Mental Health Center in Whitby, and I stayed there for 4 months, and I was put on new medication.
I found myself crying in the shower after throwing up, praying to God and then to the devil to just kill me.
It's okay to backslide and be able to come out again.
Don't believe them when they tell you that recovery is impossible.
You have to fight for your recovery.
Baby steps, as Dr. Furlong would say, it's baby steps, right?
It's all about hope.
It's a recovery process, and I never knew that before.
I've also come to the realization that I just can't return to work. I'm not the same person who called in sick in November 2006.
I got to where I am today by learning to block out the voices. I discovered many great techniques of how to do this. It's like meditation for voice hearers. And even today I lead a group for people who hear voices. This group is called Wonderland and is for people experiencing schizophrenia.
I discovered the person that I used to know. I rekindled my creative side, realizing how vital it was in my life.
Creative expression like writing has been a godsend for me.
A lot of myths are that it's about just the food aspect, and it's not about the food aspect. It's about the underlying emotions or the underlying events that you're trying to starve away or eat away or exercise away. And you know, it's okay to look at those issues. It's going to be intense at the beginning, but those emotions will lessen. It won't be as scary all the time.
I'm in the middle, I fall through the cracks, I squeak by.
I didn't see those little pieces of recovery until we started writing out in like this nice arc, because it just seemed like this big story. And then once you started breaking down each of the pieces, and then you went, and even in each of the pieces there was like, you know, 10 more stories. And I do think that it's helped me come along quicker than I think I would have.
There's so many stories within a story. You can take one little sentence and create a whole story around that rather than 9 pages of brain dumping.
What I try to facilitate from them is which one is the most compelling to them right now that they really feel that they have to write about.
It was really great to have Ellie alongside of us, kind of coaching us how to write. There's definitely a different format from just journaling your thoughts to actually putting it in a formatted story.
Did it read like a story?
Oh, yes, it's a story. You did it.
And Ellie really helped to synthesize it and crystallize the whole experience.
I think what touches me the most is probably not right at the workshops. It usually comes through when I'm sitting at home and I get their emails.
I got stuck. Like, I put everything in an email and I sent it to you, and your reply was great. made me cry.
Yeah, I really appreciated how she really approached everyone on an individual level, as well as a group level, but took the time to, you know, read everyone's story, which takes time and emotions on her part to process everything.
I'm really happy with the way yours is looking right now. I really am. It's come a long way.
You know, saying, okay, well, this is the part that I think I need to write about, and then you get a little bit of information, and other people comment, and then it just really for me, it made the writing come easier because I knew I was going to be talking to the same people at the end that I had started with.
Where your story hooked me, where it went, okay, Lisa's in. Swing nearby and grab dinner because it's cheap.
Okay.
And your experience agoraphobia.
This is what it takes too, to talk it out too. That helps, right? Talking, writing.
It just reinforces that you're not alone. There's enough similarities that it helps to kind of bridge to the next step, I think, in your recovery.
It's been so powerful for me just to write a story and stand, you know, whether I'm shaking or crying the first time I tell it. When I get through it, I'm a different person. I can't explain that to you now if you haven't done it, but it really is a tremendous, empowering thing, and I really, really, really want to share that with as many people as possible. You're all invited to read your pieces on Sunday. Who is going to be interested in doing that? Rob? Thank you.
So if you hear voices, remember the deep breathing. This will work for you. Deep breathing is also great for stress and promotes relaxation. Deep breathe yourself to better mental health. Thank you.
So we've got Jay, you're going to tighten it up?
Yeah. Thanks to Ellie and her wonderful workshop, my story can be heard, and for others to understand that they are not alone, and many of the horrible stories they have experienced can be put in the past, and life can move forward and be filled with much joy and accomplishment.
And I'll go because you need a female.
Yes. All right.
I know that I will most likely need to remain on medications for the remainder of my life. And now look at this as how a person with diabetes requires insulin on an ongoing basis. These baby steps have brought me to this point in my life.
The event is at 7 o'clock, and there's going to be a rehearsal in the afternoon.
I have purpose in this life. Yes, I have purpose. I am here to let others know that recovery is real and it feels good.
At the Registry Theater.
I am beautiful, genuine, strong, curvy, responsible, funny, and you bet it, crazy. I'm not photoshopped. I just am who I am, and I like it.
Are you in?
I think I could. I also would say that you should inquire with your family doctor if you feel there is something wrong. Your life is important, and you don't want to live 100 years where you think of dying every day.
I mean, just the experience of performing it and going through the workshop, that was really uplifting and exciting and difficult and rewarding.
Great job, Jay.
Thanks, Ma.
So glad you did that.
The process and the actual performance was sort of took it to another level.
To share the story with other people was one more small step in helping to people understand what mental illness is all about and to demystify it.
I saw my dad afterwards, and we felt good about it. I was wondering, like, maybe I'll do this, and I feel terrible afterwards for some reason. And that didn't happen.
It felt like something good finally came out of years of trouble and heartache and anger and sadness, and so just being able to share, I think that's important. I don't think people talk enough about what they've been through. There's a lot of shame, and so it removes the shame. I think that's great.
Through this spark of brilliance, I wrote a story that I'm really proud of writing for my brother and my sister and my brother-in-law, that was the first time they'd ever heard me speak in public, so that was a pretty big thing.
If we were to run this course again, you might be willing to try the arc of recovery and to see how that worked for you, or?
And to actually tell a recovery story. Like with not the focus on how terrible it was in the old days, but rather the good things that have happened lately.
Talking about it has been probably a really good process in truly knowing who I am and being okay with it. And it's so liberating.
Well, I would recommend it to anyone. It's a life-changing experience, and it's healing, and it's recovery, exactly what it is.
Above all, I believe in everybody. I believe in their capabilities of recovery. I believe that they can have the life that they want.
Just a little crease, such a simple gesture goes so far to please. I'm in the middle, I fall through the cracks, I squeak by. I'm in the middle, I fall through the cracks, I squeak by.